Hey everyone, my name's Nathan and I've been wearing a hair system now for the past 7 years. Over this past 7 years, I've had the opportunity to try lots of different hair systems and learn a lot, and I now am going to help you pick the right color for your hair. So in front of me, there is the brown series. Just for context, I am wearing number 3 on my head. When I go through the brown series, you can use my hair color as a baseline of when I'm going through the rest of the series. Before I show you the differences in color, I'm going to give you 2 things to take into consideration when choosing a hair system. The first one is the actual hairstyle you go for, and the second one will be the lifestyle that you live. So firstly, hairstyle. I would usually opt for people to pick a darker color than maybe their natural hair color, because these are real human hair, not synthetic hair. Because it is real human hair, it fades over time, whereas synthetic hair doesn't. So just because it fades, it's nothing to do with being poor quality. If anything, it's the opposite. It's good quality human hair, it fades, that's normal. So that's something to take into account when picking a hair system. If you have a shorter hairstyle like mine, where I fade the sides into my hair, as you can see, I can get away with wearing a darker hair system than my natural hair on the sides. So right now I'm wearing a 3. I would say my actual natural hair color is a 4. But because I fade it in, it still looks completely natural. You probably can't tell I'm wearing one. If you have longer hair on the side, so you don't have your hair faded in, it's going to be quite obvious if you get a dark color on the top, if you have lighter hair on the side. So again, the summary of that is if you're going to go with a short fade, you can opt for a darker color, because as the hair system fades, you'll get a longer lifetime out of it before it gets lighter. The second thing is lifestyle. So if you're out and about, sort of running in the open air or going on holidays in the sun, the hair will also fade. So this is something to consider. If I pick my natural hair color, it's gonna fade faster if I'm in a more bright climate and I'm outside more. But again, I really just want to push, it is completely normal for the hair to fade. It's just something that happens with hair systems. Usually if you had real hair, it would grow back your normal color. With all that taken into consideration, you can now make a better choice when I go through the series. So starting off, we have the number 2. This is our 2. Again, right now, I am wearing the 3. So if I was to hold this up against my head, this is actually much darker. This is probably our most popular brown. It is our darkest brown. So if you're someone with very dark brown hair, this is an obvious choice to pick number 2. Now, this is the hair system I'm wearing, number 3. It is on my head and evidently is much lighter than our 2. It has much lighter streaks in the hair, but still has elements of dark brown hair within it. My personal choice, as I said before, my actual natural hair color is not 3, it is 4 on the sides, but I choose to keep my sides short, so I opt for the 3 because it means that I get more wear out of the system before it fades into my real hair color, which is the 4. So if I now hold the 3 and the 4 up together, the 4 actually starts to get, again, slightly lighter in gradient. So as we go up the number, so 2 is our darkest, 3, 4, 5, 6, it starts to get lighter and lighter as we go on. So this is our number 4. Again, you can see here, the gradient starts to get lighter in the brown. Now it's having more elements of lighter brown within the hair. But again, most of the system is still relatively dark. There are sometimes within the numbers online, you'll get a number and then you'll have ash. Ash is self-explanatory if you have more of an ashy hair tone. So you'll see very clearly this is our 4 and this is our 4 ash. 4 ash is much brighter, has much more of a shine to it in the light, as you can see. So again, if you've got a similar hair color to this, but you have more ashy tones within your hair, go for the 4 ash. Now we have 4 ash and 5. So this is our 5 and this is our 4 ash. You can now see the difference that actually the 5 is lighter but doesn't have the ashy tone. So if you are someone that you're a bit unsure whether you go for like a 4 or a 5, you can now see, holding up to it very clearly in the light, that this 5 is much lighter than our 4. If you're someone that doesn't have ashy hair, but you want it lighter, go for the 5. If you have the ashy hair, keep for the 4 ash. Moving up further, we now start to take quite a big jump in color, which is 5 to 6. So again, if I hold these up to the light, this is our 6. Our 6 is now heading towards with much lighter streaks. Almost in some lights, in sort of bright light above my head, you'll almost get an element of like blonde tinge to it. The 5 still comes across like a mousy brown, a light mousy brown in the light. We have our 7, which is probably the lightest our browns will go, apart from our 7 ash, which is the ashy tone. If I hold up the 6 to the 7 in the light, you'll see here that the 7 again has even more like blonde tones to it. It's still brown, but it's going to be much more lighter than our 6. Now, if you are someone that has very light brown hair, but it's got an ashy tone to it, we do offer the 7 ash, which I can show you here. This is our 7 ash against our 7. So again, if you're someone who's got very light brown hair, but you don't have that ashy tinge, opt for the 7. If you've got the ashy undertones to it, you can pick the 7 ash. If you're someone watching this and you still are unsure, you can get a coloring. The coloring you can get online. With the coloring, you can very easily hold this to the side of your head, or if you are someone that still has hair on the top of your head, I have complete hair loss on the top of my head, so I would hold it to the sides of my head. You can quite easily take the series that you want to select, pick the color that you think you are, and opt for the closest color that matches your hair. Again, all I would recommend is if you're picking the color online without the coloring, or even with the coloring, sometimes you might want to pick a darker hair color that is not your natural hair color. I would say 1 shade darker. So as I said, my natural hair colors are 4, I pick a 3, but this is only because I wear the short, sort of faded haircut. If you're someone that opts for a longer hairstyle, I would totally recommend to match the color as perfectly as possible by using this video or by getting a coloring. I hope this video helped and look forward to speaking to you soon.